a cat and mouse game.
They just promise you all these things.
Great, here's the fee, and then rug pull, gone.
I had this on my house so I could pay off the line of credit.
They are ruthless, highly intelligent, and will stop at nothing to get your money.
Our life is going to change.
As the saying goes, love makes people do strange things. And when it comes to scams, this is probably the oldest one in the book, the romance scam. Despite the passage of time and advances in technology, the MO never really changes. Thieves play on the heartstrings of victims while draining their bank accounts.
I'm a widow since 2017, and yeah, I missed having male companionship, so it's kind of, and it's different nowadays. It's not like we used to meet people at bars, or you used to meet people different ways, but it just seems dating sites were the way to go.
This scam is more common now than ever before due to the advent of social media. Simply put, scammers have more ways to track down would-be victims, gain their trust, play on emotions, and ultimately steal their hard-earned money. The impact on these victims and their families can be devastating.
I'm familiar with one where a lady had given up a lot of money and went into Great Depression because of the loss of the money, and eventually she passed away as a result of it. So it's a very strong warning of the impact that these situations can have.
In this episode, we'll hear from Detective Dana Boulis of the EPS Financial Crimes Unit about how you can protect yourself from getting the big kiss-off. I'm Adam Cook, and this is The Con Job.
So a romance scam starts when a fraudster will develop an online profile, usually. They'll use fake photos, fake images, and then they seek out their victims online. So they'll start a conversation or some messaging with a victim online. They'll build a relationship with them, build some trust with them, and maintain a relationship where they feel the ability to ask for a favor, or eventually they'll ask for some money. Mm-hmm. The victim will end up sending that money because they believe this person is romantically involved with them, and as a result of sending money, they end up losing a lot of money.
How would you describe the typical victims? Do they share common traits, or how would you describe them?
Well, anybody can be a victim, male or female, or any age. We do tend to see more common middle-aged women, people that are divorced or recently widowed, end up being targets.
Well, I mean, I was scammed by 3 men, so, and it's just, you get caught up in it, and they just promise you all these things, and they're so nice, and they're so you just fall for it.
How do they find their victims? Are there cold calls? Is it all online? How do they do that?
Most commonly, it is done online. Occasionally, we do hear of some in-person romance frauds. It's not as common because they have the ability to reach out and contact so many more people when they're online. They do a lot of research online. So, for example, if you have a social media page like Facebook and you have your settings open so fraudsters can look at your photos, they can look at your personal information, they can use that to their advantage to build that relationship and trust with you. What they may ask for, it can be, I need money because it's a family emergency. I need money, maybe I got a parcel that I need shipped, or it usually tends to be some kind of urgent situation that they can't rectify on their own, and they're asking for your help in order to do that. So yeah, they're very professional, and a lot of times they have scripts that they work from, so they already have a response or a scenario that plays out.
Then he was going away on a job, like this is the same story that I got in the end from everybody. And then he needed money for equipment and da-da-da-da-da. And he had an Edmonton phone number, and we were supposed to meet, da-da-da-da-da. And of course, it kept getting delayed. Do
you have any stats that show how much money Edmontonians have lost to these romance scams?
in general, it's kind of an underreported fraud. There's a lot of kind of embarrassment and shame attached to the victim for the loss of the money. So we feel like it's very underreported. For our statistics here in Edmonton in 2022, we got a report of 4.7 million in losses.
And you think that's low because it's underreported?
Absolutely, that's low, yeah. And in the first 7 months of 2023, we're at 3.8 million.
Wow. So that would suggest that this is a prevalent crime. Like it's common?
It's becoming a more common problem. It's the second largest reported fraud behind investment scams.
What should people be looking for? I mean, I guess you always got to be skeptical, but I mean, are there telltale signs like, oh, this is pointing towards a potential scam here?
Yeah, there's a number of things, and maybe sometimes people choose to ignore some of these things, or, you know, and sometimes they're maybe too good to be true. For example, a lot of times our fraudsters are very attractive looking, maybe too attractive looking.
Yeah.
And they have good jobs, they're successful, they have great family values. But sometimes when you look at their profile, it's also missing a lot of information. It's not very many photos, not very many details. Maybe it was just recently created. They will ask you to move offline. So from whatever social media site you're on, they'll ask you to move to WhatsApp or a text messaging program away from the dating site.
Why would they do that?
Because things like WhatsApp and stuff is encrypted, so it's not traceable text messages and things like that.
Smart move. And it can affect generations of their family, can it not?
Absolutely. There's some very large amounts of money that I'm hearing about people losing over $1 million. That probably took them a really long time to build that kind of wealth.
It is over $300,000. And I had to sell my house so I could pay off the line of credit because I was just paying making the interest payments. I just felt like I really betrayed my sons is what bothered me the most, I think.
What do you think family members can do? Because I mean, as you said, embarrassment is such a big part of this. What can family members do to help somebody that says, you know what, this ain't right. This doesn't smell good to me.
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, be supportive and listening, because the victim has an emotional attachment a lot of the times to the fraudster, and often they will be in denial, even when confronted with proof that this person's fake, they don't exist, that they don't truly love them, and it's all a scam. They often are in denial because they have grown that emotional attachment. So it's important to be supportive and listen to them, and even show them other examples. Don't judge, don't criticize. That's not going to be helpful for them.
We're not all going to be very tech savvy, but from a technical standpoint, are there little steps you can do just to get a read on the person you're dealing with? Like the pictures, they may be fake. How do you check them out?
Yeah, well, with photos, there's programs as well as Google reverse image search. So you can take images from the profile in question and search the internet to see if that picture has surfaced anywhere else. There's a lot of chances that you'll find something where that real person exists in a different profile, different name, different city, different story.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Anything else? Anything else?
Yeah, well, I would say if you're not sure about the person you're talking to, ask them to video chat. A lot of times they won't want to video chat, or they'll have an excuse that they can't video chat because they are not that person in that photo, and that would reveal that. We touched on security settings on your own profile. Be careful what you give them access to, and also pay attention to the language that they use. Their English may not be that great. How are they talking? They may use a translation program, which may sound a little bit off.
So the grammar looks just a
little bit off from what you would expect somebody saying that they're maybe locally and they're not. Yeah, and they always have excuses about meeting in person. So if you ask them to meet in person, they will never meet you in person. They will make plans to, but they will have excuses and reasons why they can't make it or something came up.
So if I get scammed, what's my first move?
Stop communicating with the
Yeah.
fraudster.
As far as law enforcement, what do I do?
Yes. Well, I would even first contact your bank. If there's any chance of stopping any money movement, whether it be through checks, wire transfers, e-transfers, to stop those proceeds if they haven't been received on the other end. So contact your bank, contact law enforcement, and save whatever messaging that you have in order to turn over to the police.
How hard is it for you guys to track these scammers online?
It depends. There's been some success with when the fraudsters are located in Canada. A lot of times that's not the case and they're overseas, and it becomes very difficult. Unfortunately, a lot of times the money is not recoverable, and the fraudsters are sitting halfway across the world at a computer desk.
So if it looks too good to be true, sounds too good to be true, it's the old adage, right? It is probably too good.
It looks like a fairy tale. It probably is too good to be true.
Yeah.
You can report suspected fraud to the Edmonton Police Service or your local police department. The Con Job is a production of the Edmonton Police Service. Follow us on your favorite podcast player. On behalf of EPS Corporate Communications, I'm Adam Cook.